All right, this is chapter 7, section 4, division property of exponents. And our learning objective is to divide powers with the same base and to raise a quotient to a power. So what does, just for some math talk, what does quotient mean? And if you want a hint,
Divide.
yeah, quotient means to divide. And we talked about powers previously. That's when you do repeated multiplication of the same item. And we just need to make sure that they have the same base. All right, so here's the property. So if you have base A raised to the m power and base divided by base A to the n power, please remember that this little fraction here, it means we usually say over, we can say divided by, it is a fraction. All those things are equivalent. Being a fraction, dividing by, and over are equivalent. So if I reference that and you're going, wait, you said that was divided by, or you said that was a fraction, or you said that was over. It's all of those things. It's wonderful. So when you divide a to the m by a to the n, you get one base with the exponents subtracted. And let me show you how that works. Some of you don't care, and that's fine, but I think it's important as you guys are becoming more grown up in your math that you know why things are working. So if I have 4 to the 3 divided by 4 to the 2, my base is the same, so check this off of our list. We have the same base. You cannot do this if your bases are not the same. Don't go this route. So we go 4 to the third is the same as 4 times 4 times 4. 4 squared is the same as 4 times 4. If I went 4 divided by 4, that would be equal to 1. If I went 4 divided by 4, that would also be equal to 1. And 1 times 4 is 4 over 1, or 1/4. Now if I were to do it here, and use this property, 4 to the 3 minus 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, and that's the same as just 1/4.
I like that one better.
Right? A bunch easier to do it using the exponent rule, but it's important to know why, and I'm okay with that. All right, so let's bring this back to our science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In science, we use, crazy enough, a little thing called scientific notation. So I want to show you how this works with scientific notation. So if we have a little problem where we have 7.33 times 10 to the 6, and yesterday we talked about scientific notation was when we make our number with one digit ahead of the decimal point, and then times 10 to the however many places we move our decimal point over. So that's scientific notation, and we use it all the time in, surprisingly enough, science. All right, so 7.33 times 10 to the 6, we're going to divide that by 4.33. Times 10 to the 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to group these together. We're going to group because we know using the commutative and the associative properties, we can go 7.33 divided by 4.33, group those together, 10 to the 6th and 10 to the 4th, group those together. I'm going to do 7.33 times 4 to the 3. I'm just going to use my calculator for that. Divided by 4.33 to get 1.6928. There are 3 significant figures, so I'm going to go ahead and just put 3 significant figures. So if you guys look, there's 3 here and 3 here. So I'm going to round to 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write 1.69. And then this is going to be 6 minus 4 using our exponent rule. 6 minus 4 is 2. And that's our answer. 1.69 times 10 to the 2. All right, we have one more topic. This is raising a quotient to a power. And I picked the hardest example I could find so that you guys are prepared. So if we have a over b, which is our quotient, it's the division, raising it to the n power, that's the same thing as a to the n over b to the n. We talked a little bit about this yesterday because we did the same thing with multiplying. The only way this works is if you have multiplication or division inside your parentheses. It does not work with adding or subtracting. All right. So if I'm going to simplify, three x squared over 5y squared raised to the negative 4 power. Using the quotient property, this is 3x squared to the negative 4 power. The bottom is 5y squared to the negative 4 power. So I'm going to use the raising a product to a power rule and give negative 4 to everything on the inside of the parentheses. So it's going to look like when we raise a power to another power, we multiply, so that would be 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. And then it's the same one here. Now, anytime you simplify, you do not want to have negative exponents. If it's telling you to simplify, you've got to make sure all of your negative exponents are taken care of. And if we remember from our previous lesson, when we have a negative exponent and we drop it down to the denominator, or vice versa, if we have a negative exponent in the denominator and you pull it up to the numerator, we make our exponent positive. So in this case, we're gonna just switch everything up. If I bring this 5 up to the numerator, then its exponent becomes positive. If I bring this y up to the numerator, its exponent becomes positive. Now I'm going to pull down and do the same thing with my 3 and my x. The last thing I have to do is go 5 to the 4th and 3 to the 4th. So I can do it by hand, but I want to show you guys how this looks on your calculator. So if I have 5 to the 4th, I go 5. Here's my to the 4th power, 625. And then 3 to the 4th power is 81. Just as an extra bonus. So this is 625 y to the 8th over 81 x to the 8th. And now we're all simplified. Lovely, good to go.